Harry was funny, so funny. His sense of humour was sometimes dark, sometimes inappropriate, but always hilarious. He kept us wondering all the time what his next line was going to be. Beautiful kid. But he was suffering, and we would do the normal things, let's speak to somebody. Let's go to see the doctor. Following morning, he'd wake up. Come on then, mate, let's go and get this sorted. Let's go and have a chat with someone. No, I'm fine, absolutely fine now. Just had a blip. And we just didn't see what was going on behind his eyes. It was a total shock to us. And on the day I drove down to Churchill, I had to pick up some test equipment for a job we were doing at Radstock BSP. And my wife phoned and she said, where are you? I said, well, I'm down at Churchill. Can you come on home? And I said, what's happened? And she said, Harry's twin had just phoned out and said that he's dead. And with diabetes, you go down, you go low, and you can appear to be dead. You can appear to be, your sugar levels go so low, you go unconscious. It's happened to me. It's happened to every diabetic. But deep down, I knew that Thomas would have sorted this out. He's dealt with me all his life, and he's dealt with Harry. So I knew that Thomas would have dealt with it. And then I drove back to Radstock. Longest journey ever. It was just it seemed like hours getting back to. And then I turned up at home, got back to home. Yeah, there was an ambulance blocking the road. I asked her politely to move. I was screaming. I was in a hell of a state. And then was met by the police, and my family were outside. My wife and Sam and Thomas were outside, and I went running in. The policeman stopped me and said, please don't, you don't need to. And then my wife grabbed me and she said that Harry had hanged himself. I then went bolting up the stairs, and I got halfway up the stairs and froze. And I couldn't take another step, and to this day that kills me, the fact that I couldn't go up and see him. Obviously the police had to do what they had to do, and then the coroner turned up, and my wife said, please just get him in as normal a position as you can. I went out, and that was the last time we saw Harry. He was just led on our landing carpet. And bless his heart, he just, whatever it was, it just taken him over that night before and decided that's the only way out. That was his only option. We got to spot these things. We're working with our colleagues for 8, 9, 10 hours a day. We see them more than we see our family. We've got young uns coming through into this firm. We've got a great training environment for them. They learn everything they need to know safely. But they've come out of school, and then all of a sudden there was some big burly fitter or a jointer. They don't understand the ways of the world as we do after we've been living it this environment for years. They need support. We need to look out to these kids. There's too many people doing this thing now. As I say, I'm no expert. I'm just a bereaved father that's been put in this position. I'd much sooner be, and it sounds awful, but I'd much sooner be sat where you're sat now, watching me talk, than me being sat here talking to you. And that does sound bad, and it sounds bad in my own mind saying it. But you can walk away now, and I'm hoping that you will take something from what I've said on board and look out to your friends, spot the changes. If there's anything that you might, everybody has a bad day at work. If that goes on for a few days and you're seeing changes which you don't, which don't ring right with you, just ask, and ask twice. Don't just ask once. We all ask people, how are they doing? Yeah, fine. Yeah, but how are you really doing? Yeah, we've got a bit of problems at home. Things like that come out after you ask them multiple times. It got brought up about it being a selfish act. Harry was never selfish. He'd give away anything. He wasn't that type of person to be selfish. He was 23-year-old. He had the whole life ahead of him. It's an illness. It's not selfishness. And I think that's probably one of the main things I want to get across to people, that, we suffer. We suffer for different things. We can break our arm. We can break our leg. We can break a finger. That's obvious. That bloke's going to need a hand up the stairs. He's broke his leg. That bloke's going to need a hand making the tea. He broke his arm, whatever. But at the end of the day, that break is going to get dealt with at the hospital. It's going to be sorted. And in a few weeks' time, he'll be back in full flow. With mental illness, it's hidden. It's hidden behind a mask. I wear a mask every day of my life now, and just to cover up the pain. And it's not a pain that you can describe to people. It's so deep-seated in your heart, and it is a physical pain. And I cover that. Hopefully I got a sense of humour. I get on well with people. And you mask that. There's no reason not to go and see the doctor if you've got issues like this. We're so frightened to talk about things like that. We're worried about getting promotion, I guess. I don't know. We're worried about the thought of it being a weakness. It's not a weakness. It's an illness. You need to be able to speak and talk openly. Talk openly to your friends. Talk openly to your colleagues. Western Power are now putting on first aid, mental awareness, first aiders. Speak to them. You don't be in a position where you feel that you cannot talk. There are people willing to listen. I'll listen to anyone. You've got my email address. Everything's there. I can soon contact you. Don't put somebody else through this. It's hideous. Get sorted. Get sorted and get... It won't affect your careers. Weakness, it's not a weakness, as I say, it's an illness. Get that sorted and you can go on. I can rest assured that there's going to be managers, there's going to be many people way above your pay grade that have been and will be going through mental illness. It's part and parcel of today's life, unfortunately. And regardless of stature, regardless of grading, regardless of thing, everybody needs help. And kindness, and it literally is just small things. Have a cup of coffee with someone. Realise that they're struggling. We've got one chap here now in Radstock Depot. He can see, I'll come in and then all of a sudden these great big arms clenching. And just that 5 seconds of a clench from someone, that's brought me back from the edge so many times. And I'm lucky, I work in Radstock Road Depot and we are close-knit. We are close-knit, and hopefully the other depots are the same or similar. Radstock I've been blessed with. I've got some lovely people here. They're compassionate, and they're always sending messages. And that's all it takes, small things. 5 minutes out your day. And that can bring somebody back from the brink. I can't even begin to understand the pain that Harry was going through. But don't think for 1 minute that pain goes away if you decide that you can't go on. That pain doesn't go away, it just gets disseminated between family, friends, and people that cared about you. This is a life sentence for us now. When your worst nightmare is better than waking up and really, realizing reality, that's a pretty sad place. So that pain won't go away. So get it treated. Get it treated so it goes away for you. Because once you've done the final act, there's no going back. Crikey, what I do now to get Harry back, I miss him so much. I miss his humour, I just miss seeing him. But that pain has just got spread to us now. So it doesn't go away. It won't go away if you go for the ultimate choice. It doesn't. It just gets spread out between your loved ones. So get yourself sorted, get speaking, and get help.